14 लोग ने ज्वाइन कर लिया। क्या?
Very good morning, dear participants. The session will start exactly at 11 o'clock. And thanks for joining the session. Dr. Subbulakshmi madam, can we able to share the PPT and we can able to test it? Very good morning, sir. Bala, sir.
Morning, sir. How are you, sir?
Sir, good, sir.
Morning,
Going
sir.
very good, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Madam,
Good morning, sir. My voice is audible. Good morning, sir. My voice is audible.
Madam, very good morning, madam. Subulashmi, madam, your voice is audible.
Good morning, sir. Shall I start?
No, madam, we will wait for 2 more minutes. We will start by 11.
Very good morning, dear leaders. A warm welcome to you all. I'm very happy to see you all on today's session. I'm Lakshmi from InVT Training Wing. So before going into the session, a small introduction about InVT. Invent, Innovate, Inspire. InVT founded by alumnus of IIT, CEG and RLI in a vision to inspire the world by technological inventions and innovations through neurotechno corporate research and training in the field of safety, disruptive technologies, and quality. Now Satyanarayanan sir will give introduction about our trainer. So we can proceed, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for
Thank you,
this
sir.
wonderful introduction.
Thank you,
And
sir.
about our InVT Industrial Empowerment session. This is our 48th session, 48th week, consecutive week. InVT is doing training on the domains of safety, quality, and the kind of technological innovations. InVT is having 3 verticals. First vertical is research and developments. Second vertical is of audit and inspection, which comprise of ISOs 14,000, 9,000, 21,000, 41,000, and also IS 14489 audits. The next wing is corporate training wing, training in the domains of safety, quality, technology, and managerial skills from InVT training wing. This is our 48th session. Thank you for this enormous support. Today's session, I've been here that some of our clients, they have been ensure that the program is being live in the training hall, and many of their employees are going to participate in it. So thanks for all the employees who have been gathered in the training hall to enrich your knowledge and also do the practical demonstrations of the yoga. For this session, I like, first and foremost, I like to thank Dr. Ilangovan sir head of Meenakshi Institutions Yoga, who has been having a tremendous experience and decade of experience in this yoga, who have been accepted this invite and who have been initiated this kind of programs for our society. Next, I like to thank and welcome our renowned speaker, Dr. Subbalakshmi Veluswamy, who have been, I request all to put on the mute. Okay, thank you. So our today's speaker, Dr. Subbalakshmi Veluswamy, studied MBA, MSc Yoga, MPhil Yoga, PG Diploma Yoga, PG Diploma on Vinoyoga therapy, and she is a research scholar, PhD scholar, started practicing yoga for her fitness, and then she has been turned into a full-time scholar and also a research expert in this field of yoga. She also has been served as an assistant professor of yoga for 4.5 years at India-China Yoga College, which is most a privileged university, which is known as Yuan Minuk University at People's Republic of China. She has been selected and appointed by External Affairs Ministry, Indian Council for Cultural Relationships, New Delhi. India-China Yoga College is the first college outside of India, started with cooperation of Indian government with Chinese government. She has been conducted many workshops and present papers across China to propagate this yoga. It is such a honor for all of us to have you as a speaker for this session, ma'am. With this note, I like to welcome our renowned speaker, Dr. Subbalakshmi Veluswamy, madam, to take over the session. Madam, the virtual screen is yours. You can able to take on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind word of introduction. And thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm very grateful to our Principal Sir Ilangovan sir for giving me this opportunity. And thank you for IIM-TY for introducing me here. So let us start with the prayer. Sir, my voice is clear, right, sir?
Yes, madam, your voice is clear.
Fine, sir. So let us start with the prayer. You can sit comfortably, if possible, on the floor, or if you find it difficult to sit on the floor, you can sit on a chair or some support, or you can sit on a small pillow kind of support also. You can sit where it will give some support to your spine. If you are trying to sit down on the floor, but if you feel any strain anywhere in your body, then try to sit on some support. The support can be of this size or of any varying size where you feel comfortable sitting on it. So this we call it as bolster in yoga. You can use whatever form, it has to be form, not cushiony one, form support to sit on, which gives support to your spine. If you are trying to sit on the floor, find any strain. Still, if you are feeling strain, using some support, sit on a chair. The requirement here is to keep your spine straight. So keep your spine straight, close your eyes, start observing the breathing. Just the sensation of the breath, if you are able to observe, as the breath enters through your nose, the sensation, the breath touches on your nostril, you may able to feel it. Just try to feel the sensation. As the breath goes inside your body, the movement in your trunk, the breath causes some movement in your trunk as well in your abdomen. Try to observe those bodily movement which corresponds with the breath. The sensation as the breath enters to your nostrils, as the breath gets into your body, the movement that caused by the breath in your trunk and on your abdomen. With that, let's fold the arms in front of the chest. Keep the facial muscles relaxed. The spine has to remain straight, but your facial muscles has to remain soft. Let us do chanting to Lord Patanjali, who is the father of yoga. Let us be grateful for giving us this wonderful art to the humanity. So let us be grateful through this prayer to sage Patanjali, who is father of yoga. You can chant Om along with me 3 times, and then we will do the chant. You can listen. Inhale. On exhale, chant Om. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनिना पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणं सहस्रशिरसं स्वेशं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः. Let us all observe the breath again for a few more minutes. The small act of being grateful makes us feel more calm, and it helps us to reduce the stress also. A study conducted on gratefulness meditation, where we are grateful for small things that we have, even the big things. Most of the time, we are not grateful for what we are having, but we strive to get many more things, which makes us feel more stressed. I'm not saying it is wrong, but at the same time, we need to be grateful for what we have got so far. With that gratefulness, if we try to achieve more, we'll be in a more balanced, calm, and composed state. When we strive to achieve many more things, at the same time, we need to be grateful for what we have got. A study conducted on gratefulness shows that it helps to reduce the stress, makes the people feel more calm, composed. So this was there in our culture, where we always do prayers through rituals, where we consider it as just a ritual. But if we inculcate that bhavana of being grateful, that helps us to be more calm and be happy that we have got so many things. Once when we focus what we have got, then only we will come to know how blessed we are for having this body without much problem. Itself is a great gift for us. which we need to maintain. We know that the transplant surgeries, how much it costs, but our organs are functioning very well without giving us any trouble. So let us be grateful to each and every organ of our body, the limbs of our body, the mind, sound mind, which helps us to achieve further. So let us be grateful. Let's start the gratefulness from our body, each body part, each organ, everything we have to be very grateful for. With that note, how to maintain this great gift given by the God, let's move forward into the practice which will help us to maintain this body. Let me introduce, this is Kamakshi, a PhD scholar. She's going to help us in demonstrating these postures. Let us be grateful to Kamakshi. Thank you, Kamakshi. Let us start. So we start with the movement to the arms. So here in this class, our focus is going to be working on more on the upper back, the neck, and the lower back, where we generally in occupational health, when it comes to occupational health, the people, most of the people, they have the problem in their upper back, neck, lower back. These are the major areas along with other issues. These are the more vulnerable area. The neck and the lower back are more vulnerable area, not only for working people, for anyone. So maintaining good health over in these regions are very essential, leading towards the health. So let us do movement without the belt now. So you can stand in Tadasana, or if you find it, if you want to be seated also is fine. You can sit on a chair. So here, alternate arm movement. Inhale, raise the arm. On exhale, while bringing the arm to the sides, you have to lift the other arm. So alternate arm movement, we call it asymmetrical arm movement. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, bring the arm down. When you bring the arm down, the other arm has to go up. This can be dynamically done on your own. Inhale, on exhale. So why we call it as asymmetrical arm movement. This asymmetrical arm movement gives a lot of mobility in this area, this upper back area, which gives a lot of mobility, which eases any strain that is accumulated on the backside. Okay, so asymmetrical arm movement generally it releases the strain in the upper back and the neck, where the strain accumulates generally. Being seated, as I mentioned, it is more vulnerable joints where the strain accumulates. Not only that, when we are more stressed, we may feel வேற வைஃபை இல்ல என்னோட மொபைல் டேட்டால போட்டுருக்காங்க மொபைல் டேட்டால போட்டுருக்காங்க சார் இருங்க சொல்லிட்டேன் sir, let me connect through another network, sir. There is some problem, it seems. Am I audible? Anyone could reply me? Am I audible?
So audible, ma'am. Video is not visible.
Okay. Shall I change the network, sir? Give me a few seconds. I'll change the network. I'll join again. Yeah, come out and join. Chirikar. Am I audible?
Yes, madam, you're audible.
Okay, fine. So asymmetrical arm movement, we were, do the asymmetrical along with the breathing. As I mentioned, it releases the strain which is accumulated in this region. As I mentioned that research findings say that when we are too much stressed, the stress accumulates here as a physical thing. That's why the strain accumulates, tightens the muscles. The strain that tightens the muscles makes us feel more uncomfortable and sometimes leading to feeling the neck pain or the low back pain. So this one alternate arm movement, it is a simple arm movement which you can, or at a time you can do with single arm also. We have done alternatively both the arms, so you can do single arm also. So single arm, simple, it may look very simple, but you can observe the movement, how much of movement happens at the back of your shoulder, which releases the neck strain as well. Yeah, on the other side. So even while working also you can do it. And another thing, right, we generally, when we feel tired, we நம்ம தமிழ்ல சோம்பல் முறிக்கிறது அப்படின்னுவோம், where we feel more refreshed, we just interlock and we try to stretch the arm. The same thing here we do here with the coordination of breath with the systematic movement, which releases our tiredness. Say when we feel like doing this, சோம்பல் முறிக்கிறது, when our brain wants more oxygen, when we feel the muscles are tight, we want to do this movement, right? So doing this movement, so it is observed from our natural activity and scientifically incorporated how it works. So that is why we do this alternate arm movement. And apart from that, Tadasana, interlock the arms and inhale, stretch. So this we call it as Tadasana, where the natural traction happens to the entire body. If you interlock and stretch the arm towards the ceiling, if possible, those who are able to interlock and stretch it upward, you can see that entire body getting into traction where it creates space in between the vertebral joints. So traction is the one where it creates more space in between the vertebral joints. So from, you have to press the heel down nicely and stretch upward as if the soles of the palms facing the ceiling. So nicely stretch it up with normal breathing. On exhale, bring it down. Inhale, stretch it up. Exhale, bring it down. So this is what I told Sombal Murikira movement. So now we will do this with a belt, because it is not possible for people who is having tight upper back and neck. It may not be possible to interlock the arm and stretch it out, which may give more strain, or sometimes you may feel tingling also. So don't do if you feel any strain when interlocking the arm. Instead of interlocking the arms, you can use the strap. We call it a strap or belt. This is yoga belt actually. If you don't have, no issues. You may be having some dupatta or towel. You can use dupatta, towel, the cloth available at your home. So hold the strap. On inhale, raise it up. So where you should hold the strap is up to your comfortable level, where you don't.
Madam, no audio, madam. Audio is not there, madam.
Fine, sir.
Now fine, madam.
Yeah. Okay. On inhale, so I told to hold the strap wherever it is possible. See, I'm not able to see the message as I'm keeping the camera away, so you can tell me so that I can correct. Exhale, bring it down. So this is another one where you are not able to interlock it. You are going to raise it up. This can be done while standing or even seated on a chair. Seated on a chair, keeping your back straight. Let us do this with seating with another movement. Turn, that's it. Keep it straight. Oh yeah. So being seated, the condition is that you keep this the spine straight. Where you are not pushing your low back to the front. So that has to be observed. Have you pushed your lower back? So how do you know that you have pushed your lower back? The abdomen protrudes forward. If you push your low back forward, the abdomen protrudes forward, which should not be done, which will strain your lower back. So when sitting, so how will you make sure that your spine is straight? The abdomen has to be pushed back, towards the spine, so that there is no much inward curve in your lower back. So that is how you have to keep your spine straight. At the same time, you're not hunching your upper back. You can see the shoulder is completely open. The shoulder needs to be open. Yeah. On exhale, bring the arms down. Inhale, raise it up. So for that, how to, when the spine will go inward, if you are not level to your seat, the seat has to be level with your hip bone. Turn this way. Yeah. There should be 90 degree. There should be 90 degree between your thigh bone and the shin bone. Then only your spine will be supported. If you feel, so if you feel that it is inclined, the leg is inclined, you can keep some support for your feet so that the 90 degree is maintained, which will protect your lower back. So keep the feet on to the, why I'm giving this is not 90 degree. So to make it 90 degree, I have given some foot rest. So whatever the foot rest if available, you can use it at home, or simple some pillow or something where the 90 degrees maintained, so that there is no strain in the lower back. If this degree is not maintained, then the lower back goes inside, where it gives increased lordosis, giving strain to your lower back. So make sure that your this lower limb is at 90 degree. With that, do this movement. Yeah, relax. And turn that. Okay. So now one more movement we are going to do. Keep it at the end. This Gomukhasana. Okay, Gomukhasana movement we'll do next. There is another movement here where you are holding the strap at the back, and lift it away as much as possible. She is flexible, so she is moving it much away. But as it is comfortable to you, you bring it to that level. Exhale, take it towards the spine. Inhale, move it away from your spine. With normal breathing, nowhere you are holding your breath. You are not supposed to hold your breath. You have to do normal breathing, normal inhale, normal exhale. If you are doubtful which breath movement you have to do, then you can do it on exhale. So exhale is a safe component of breath. If you are doubtful which breath movement you have to incorporate, do on exhale. Inhale, exhale. All the dynamic movement, we call it as dynamic, where the repetition is done. The dynamic movement also mobilizes the muscles, the tight muscles. As I mentioned, it may be tight over here if it is not properly worked out. So to make it elastic, to make it flexible, we do this dynamic movement so that the strain in your upper back and the shoulders are released. So this is one. So what are all the, so far we have done in the front. This is at the back. You can note it down if you are doing fine. If you are not doing, note it down. You can do it at the other times of your day. Even while working, you can do this small movements. Yeah. And then this one, Gomukhasana. So this we call it as Gomukhasana in yoga. The classical way of doing it is classical Panikasana. So this is how it is done, but it may not be possible for others. You can see that. So you can see that how much of opening has happened in the front of the shoulder. In Gomukhasana, the complete opening of the shoulder. So it gives flexibility to your shoulder, the upper back, the neck. It's a wonderful asana. At the same time, it stretches the lymph nodes. You may note that a lot of lymph nodes are situated here at the sides of your breast and the armpit. Lymph nodes. You may know that. So this get nicely stretched where it helps to lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic system is the drainage system of our body which clears the toxins from our body. So it stimulates and stretches the activates the lymphatic system. The complete work on the armpit and shoulder. Yeah, relax. So this is how we classically do this Gomukasana. Gomukasana classical. But it may not be possible for people initially, as the muscles are tight, it may not be possible. That's why I'm giving this strap. If you don't have strap, no issue. I told you to use the cloth or something, towel, which is available at your home. So holding the strap, you can do this. Try to keep the shoulder open. See, one arm, you can note down the movement. One arm is completely open and other arm goes this way. So where you keep the complete opening of your shoulder. As much as possible, you try. Don't keep it straining, You can do it repeatedly. Make sure you are not straining your joints. Yeah, the other side. So we have to do it alternatively. When one arm goes up, the other arm has to be down. The other arm goes up, the one arm has to be down. So both the arm we have to, and again, you should not push the abdomen to the front. Make sure that the abdomen remains towards the spine, otherwise it will give low back strain. So keep the abdomen back towards the spine and do the movement. So this can be done dynamically also. The Gomukasana arm movement dynamically if possible. Dynamically. So you can release and do it, holding the strap will be difficult for you as she is flexible, she is managing. You can leave the strap and do it again, repeatedly. Yeah, this is another movement. Okay, let's move to the next movement. Enough. The Paschim Namaskara at the back seat. So this is also a wonderful another asana. We call it Paschim Namaskara in Tadasana, which is very good for upper back and neck. But again, it needs flexibility in this region. So if not possible to do Namaskara at the back, you can hold your elbows. Hold the elbows. The elbows. Yes. Both the side. Yes. So abdomen back. So you can hold the back, roll the shoulder back. You might have seen, sitting for a long time, in the desk or doing a lot of desk job release. You may be rounding your shoulder. Most of the time we sit rounding the shoulder, So rounding the shoulder, where the shoulders always move towards the front, it makes hunch at the back. If you have observed, you may have a hunch at the back, rounding the shoulder forward. If you have observed all of our movement, from morning to evening, where our shoulder is always moved forward because of this rounded shoulder, sitting in the job or sitting in the desk for long time, reading, doing mobile work, all this requires us to be in this posture. It doesn't require us because of our habituation. We do this where it hunches, where it brings imbalance here. That is why doing this a lot of time we accumulate strain here. So where it brings imbalance in the muscles, the spinal muscles, the upper back muscles. So not only that it brings imbalance in the muscles, you can see that it collapses your chest and obstruct your breathing. The breathing has to be normal, inhale and exhale. As much as possible, it has to be long and subtle. But when our lungs are collapsed, the breathing gets obstructed, leading us towards shallow breathing. Shallow breathing brings all other problems. So as much as possible, in all these movements, we keep opening the shoulder, moving it out. So in the movement, all the movement, the shoulder pushes outward, not inward. The inward is the usual movement that we do day and night. But consciously, while doing these movements, the shoulder has to be rolled out to challenge our habituation, which is yoga. So all these movements which we do with the arms will do good for your neck and the shoulders to relieve the strain here. Let us focus on lower back. Now we are moving to work on the lower back. So Uttanasana, we call this as Uttanasana. If you are not able to remember the name, no issue. Just observe the movement. Yeah, inhale here. So you stand here, inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, you are bending forward. Bend the classical, first you do the classical Uttanasana, then we will tell them. So the classical Uttanasana, how we do is that the entire spine has to go down towards your legs. And arms rested. So this is classical way of doing Uttanasana. She is an advanced practitioner, so it's not an issue for her. But for others, you need good flexibility in your hamstring muscles, spinal muscles to get into this posture. It is very much possible for all of us, but we need training, we need practice. Inhale, come up. So how to prepare, how to practice, that we are going to see. So that Uttanasana may be challenging for us. So we are going to modify it, modifying it for some purpose. For what purpose? Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, bend forward, hold the chair. So why I am giving this modification is that these muscles are called hamstring muscles, which are very bulkier muscles in our body. They tend to be more tight. Now, when you try to reach towards your feet, when you try to take your spine towards your feet, you can feel a constant pull here in your hamstring muscles. You may feel it very much pull, intense stretch you may feel. That is because of the tightness here. So how to release this tightness is doing this modification. And having tight hamstrings also leads to strain in your lower back. So tight hamstring may lead to, that is not the one of the only cause of low back pain. One of the causes of low back pain is tight hamstrings. So doing this movement dynamically stretches your hamstring muscles dynamically. So inhale. So you can hold the lower bottom of the chair. You can hold. So wherever is possible, where you don't feel very intense stretch, but at the same time comfortable, you can hold the support there. She has rested. You can rest your arms, the palms on the top of the chair, or you can rest it on the bottom. Whatever the support available at your home, it can be a wall also. Not necessarily the chair. The wall, the level is at your comfortable level. You can change the level where you feel comfortable. You do it towards the wall. So wherever is possible, you hold the wall, and slowly, as you feel comfortable with your hamstring muscles, you can slowly come down towards the bottom of the wall. Start with wherever comfortable. It will not happen in just a day's time. It is possible for her in a day's time, but if not practiced on a regular basis, it needs more time. Yeah. So I'm giving the idea you can use. So this is Uttanasana. Do Uttanasana again. So hold it on the. So hold it wherever is possible. That not only stretches on your hamstring, it brings flexibility in your hips also. So hip flexibility is essential to maintain a good lower back. So for lower back health, it is not just the hamstring, it is the hip and the spinal muscles. In this way, you work on the spinal muscles. You can feel if you are trying at your home, you can feel a stretch in your hamstring muscle, the hip, and the spinal muscles. All these are worked, but without straining your body. When we do modification, when we use some support, we are not straining our body. Gradually, we work towards bringing flexibility to our body. Another one, Parshva Uttanasana. So this is asymmetrical movement. Asymmetrical is one leg forward, one leg backward. Again, it works on the either side of the spinal muscles. You may know that the spinal muscles run on both the sides of our spine. So that if it is tight, it gives more tightness in your upper back, lower back. You may have a tight spine, rigid spine. Exhale, bend forward. So keeping one leg forward, one leg backward, again, it nicely works on your lower limbs, not only the hamstring, it works on your knees. In this pose, you may feel good work happening in your front of your knee, intense stretch at the back of your knee, but initially don't do very aggressively. You need to be more careful without straining your knee or front of the body. That is why we give this support. When resting on this, you may not able to strain your knee. Classically, you do it once so that they understand. So classically, how we do is that you have to completely come down and rest your head. this is how it is classically done, but we are not giving classically at it requires constant practice, constant continuous practice needed. That is why we are changing it. So you can see that how much the knee is opened. Yeah, press the hand, press the hand. Resting it, you can work on keeping the knee straight. The load is taken by the arm towards the chest, so the strain on the knee is reduced. So reducing the strain on the knee, you can work on stretching your spine. Nicely stretch the spine forward. Yeah. You can keep the arm straight as well. If you keep it away, you can, yes. Where you can see a traction happen to your spine. You know, when you stretch forward, natural traction happens to your spine, entire spine from the lower back. The spine is nicely stretched towards the chair without any strain to your body. The neck can be comfortably, if you feel any strain in the neck, you can look down, look down. Yeah, not completely, keeping level with your spine, the neck, yes. Yeah. So either way you can do, you can slightly bend the elbow, keeping it closer, or you can keep it straight, but to have a traction effect to your spine, which brings spinal flexibility, hamstring flexibility, hip flexibility, along with the breathing, normal breathing. Exhale, come back normal. You have to do on the other side. So this is asymmetrical, both the sides of your body you have to do. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, bend forward. Hold it. Feel the stretch. When you are doing the pose, you have to feel the stretch happen along your spine, in your lower limb, the hip, everywhere. You have to observe the stretch happening. With normal breathing, you are not supposed to hold the breathing here or to harden your facial muscles. Your facial muscle has to completely relax and the breathing has to happen normally. Don't hold your breath. Keep your facial muscles relaxed. Inhale, raise the arms up, come up. Exhale, bring the arms down. Take the leg together. So once you have done asymmetrical pose, you have to complete it symmetrical. Do Uttanasana. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, bend forward. Do modification. Yes. So here also, you can, either way you can do. You can keep the elbow bent, do it. Keep the feet apart. Initially, don't keep the feet together. Keeping feet apart releases the strain in your lower back. So this is Uttanasana, Ardha Uttanasana. Relax. Inhale, raise the arms up, come up. Prasarita Padottanasana. So don't worry about the names of the asanas. This is called the Prasarita Pada Uttanasana. Wait, where you have to completely open the legs out. Open the legs out completely. Yeah, as much as possible. For beginner, you may not be able to widely open your leg. So how much ever is possible for you without straining, you can open it. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, bend forward. So classically you do once and then we will tell the modification. So this is how it is classically done, where the head has to rest onto the floor. She's an advanced practitioner. So where she is able to comfortably rest her crown of the head. The crown of the head is rested in between the feet and the palm. So this is how classically done, but we are going to do in a modified way. So keep the feet apart. You can pull it forward. Oh yeah. So same thing here. The spinal traction happens where you are nicely pushing your spine forward. So this nicely stretches your inner thigh muscles. You can feel a very good stretch, very good for ladies. For all it is good, mainly for ladies where it opens the pelvis. So addresses the issue of uterine problem, menstrual related or menstruation related issues, and your reproductive organ, female reproductive organ issues, related issues, all can be addressed as there is more intense stretch happen in your inner thigh muscles and the lower abdominal muscles. So normal breathing here, you can hold the chair there and stretch the spine. So you can see there is lower limbs nicely working, the spine is working, the arm is working. So good stretch happens to the whole body. The way that you do makes it working. So nice intense stretch in your hamstring, hip flexibility, the pelvic opening, and then you give extension to the spine. Yeah, normal breathing with normal breathing. Yes. Inhale, come out, exhale, bring, and head rest on head rest with a side. Another extreme. So to be in the pose, if you rest your head on the support, you may maintain the pose for a longer time comfortably without feeling much stretch in your muscles. So you can rest the head wherever it is comfortable for you. So resting the head, forehead resting, how much? So forehead resting and keep the legs stretched. இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் பின்னாடி போய்க்கோங்க கொஞ்சமா அப்ப தலை ரெஸ்ட் ஆகுது. You are coming forward. Yes. So where the forehead has to be rested and the lower back. So the push the hip back slightly. Yes. So the outer edge of the foot has to be nicely pressed down. Intense stretch your inner muscles. So all these things happens as and when you are resting your head, you can be in the pose for little longer and feeling the stretch happening in your body. This way you can maintain observing the stretch, observing your breathing. You can be there. This is called Prasarita Pada Uttanasana, modified version. Inhale, raise the arms up, come up. Exhale, bring the arms down. Yeah, legs together. Okay, now we'll go to this lying. So we have seen standing asanas. Now we are going to move towards lying asanas. We'll see few lying asanas as our time is limited. So after lying down, up. So fold both the legs. So you have to take both the legs as closer as to your hip and fold. Take it. So hold your knee and place the palm above the knee. On exhale, you have to bring the knees closer to your chest. On exhale, inhale, move it up. So dynamically, you have to give. Exhale, take it towards your spine. Inhale, lift it up. So this we give in therapy more to work on breathing. It calms down your mind as there is more room for working on the breath here. More calm. Inhale, exhale. You can do along with the movement. Not only that, you can see that there are a lot of stretching happen in your lower back. The lower back nicely extends. In this position, the lower back nicely extends and rests onto the floor, which gives good rest to your lower back. This is for the entire system may get relaxed, but more stretching when the knees comes closer towards the chest, it nicely extends the lower back, releasing the strain from your lower back. It may look very simple, but it is very effective to release your strain from the lower back. Right here, we'll do another. Okay, for Savasana, I'll give that twisting the leg on the chair. Now we'll do simple lying twist. Open the arms to the shoulder level. So inhale here. On exhale, take the knees, fold the legs onto the side. Exhale, the knees onto the side, the neck on the other side. It's a simple lying twist, but at the same time, if you see from that side, you can see how much it has stretched your lower back. So if possible, you can take the knees closer to your chest so that more extension can happen to your lower back. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale on the other side. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale on the other side. So this you can do dynamically, incorporating the breath. So on exhale, you need to come into twist. Exhale, the twisting where there is no room for the air to be in, right? When you are in squeezing movement, the exhale has to be done, because it is difficult for the air to be inside, right? When you are being a squeezing movement, more logical, right? So you may not able to forget, on exhale, the twist has to be done. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale on the other side. So it is not only for the lower back, in the upper back also, because you are twisting at the neck at the same time on the hip. Both the places there is a twist. So it releases the strain from the lower back as well in the upper back. All these can be done in the morning as well in the evening. If you focus more on the evening doing these relaxing movement, it leads us towards good sleep. A lot of us are facing sleep issues, right? Insomnia. The too much of strain in our body And too much of thoughts in our mind make us feel more agitated when we go to the bed after watching mobile and doing all the activity. When we try to go to bed, our mind is so active, our body is so tired, strained, we may not easily get into the sleep. So if you allot some time relaxing your body, removing your body, relaxing your mind may help us to get into good sleep at night. Inhale, come back to the center. Another one, arms to the side of the body, arms to the side of the body. This one, Dvipadika. Inhale, raise the hip up. Exhale, bring the hip down. Inhale, raise the hip up. Exhale, bring the hip down. Inhale, raise the hip up. Badri, I think it's that low. Inhale, raise the arm, hip up. Am I audible, sir? Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, inhale, raise the hip up. Exhale, bring it down. So this can be done in varying arm level. The arms can be, okay, you can, okay. You can keep in different arm position to have movement in your upper back also. Inhale, raise the hip up. If you find it difficult to keep it above the head, you can keep it by the side or straight away. Exhale. So, moon position is inhale, raise the hip up. Exhale, bring it down. So this dynamic movement gives more mobility to your hip and moves the low back muscles, the entire spinal muscles, not only the lower back, the entire spinal muscles nicely stretch and is good for gluteal muscles also. Yeah, can be done more dynamically. Inhale, come up, exhale, go down. Inhale, come up, exhale, go down. Yeah, slow, not too much. Yeah, enough. And then again, Apanasana. Once you've done this, Apanasana, take it towards your body. Inhale, move it away. Exhale towards your body. Yeah. So this is Apanasana. We have done few lying asanas. Now let us move to Savasana where we can do some pranayama. In Savasana, for people having low back strain, there is another way of doing Savasana where you can rest your legs on the chair or stool something. So rest your legs. So resting the legs on like this. So again, the 90 degree has to be maintained. Maintaining the 90 degree, the low back is nicely stretched. If you give some rest to your leg and lie down and observe your lower back, whether it is rested or you're feeling fully comfortable in this position, observe that. You can feel good relaxation to your lower back. When the lower back and the body is nicely relaxed, you feel complete relaxation. When the body is under strain, you can't feel more relaxed as body and mind are connected. According to our ancient Eastern philosophy, body, mind, breath are connected. So working on the body, so you can give mild support to your neck where the neck also feel more rested. There is the curve, lordotic curve in your neck and the lower back. When these three are not rested properly, you may not feel more rested. So giving support to these curves makes you feel more rested. When the body rested, the mind feels rested, more relaxation you can feel. Lying this, you can observe the breathing. Now few breathing practices for leading us towards good sleep. Most of us are not able to sleep well due to insomnia, right? So place the palm on your abdomen, lower abdomen. Yes. So place the palm, one palm on the lower abdomen. First start observing your breathing. So lie down in a comfortable posture. Observe the breathing. Now I'm going to give few chant on exhale. So this is to make us feel more, to bring our thoughts. See what happens, why we are not able to get good sleep is that our mind is so stressed, the stress in the sense too many thoughts when we are going to the bed, because one thing is from the job and another thing, the personal affairs, and then this body strain. All these makes us feel more strain at the mental level, body level, mind level. Lot of thoughts going on, which keeps us awake. So generally, what happens when we normally feel stressed, if we want relax ourselves, what we do, while working in occupational environment, we try to. When I feel stressed, I just want to have a cup of tea, cup of coffee. This is general attitude of people, right? When they take coffee, the tea, they feel kind of relaxed for that time being, because it is a stimulant to our body. People are addicted having coffee or tea or go for smoke, a small break going for smoke. They feel more relaxed taking these things. But actually, these are all stimulants which makes our body stimulated, the mind stimulated, body stimulated, where we don't feel much. Instead of relaxing, it stimulates. So in the same way, if we go to our bed, before going to our bed, we watch the mobile, we see the messages, mails, or other things. When we watch all these things, our mind gets stimulated. It becomes more active. So more active, the mind is not rested well, where we feel more thoughts are coming, not able to get into good sleep. To make the thoughts coming down and feel more calm and rested at the mind level, I'm going to ask her to do some chanting. Inhale, on exhale, chant Om. So not it's not just Om. You can chant any syllable like A, Wu, Ma. All these syllables can be chanted, or Om can be chanted. Inhale, on exhale, loudly. You can make it loudly. Yes. So like that, you can chant Om. So what is the scientific backup here? So how it supports my mind to calm down? We may have doubt, just chanting Om in this position, how it's going to calm down my mind? How am I going to get good sleep, right? So actually, scientifically, what the research says is that when we chant loudly, where our vocal cords are vibrated, so chanting Om, you can feel a very chanting Om or any syllable, mainly A, Wu, Im, and Om, vibrates our vocal cords, and vibrating the vocal cords, the corresponding vagus nerve gets stimulated, and that vagus nerve corresponds to parasympathetic nervous system, which calms down. Parasympathetic system is the rest and relaxation system. In our nervous system, we do have sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system corresponds to fight or flight. It's a survival mechanism. When we are in fight or flight, it helps us to survive in that situation. The parasympathetic is rest and digest. When the parasympathetic nervous system is stimulated, we feel more rested and it focuses more on digestion. Other times, the blood circulation are focused towards the muscles for run, fight, or flight. That is a sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So chanting loudly or focusing more on exhale, extending the exhale, it stimulates our vagus nerve corresponding to the parasympathetic nervous system activated, which makes us feel more rest and relaxed. So chanting Om, it's not just a very ancient practice. This ancient practice is now backed up by the scientific science. Research done reveals all these things. It's just an example. So many scientific research studies are backing up our yogic practices. As our time limited, I'm focusing what is required for occupational health. If time permits, we can discuss more. So this is how we relax. There is another pranayama technique also is there where we do the chanting. I'll come to seated position. This is called Brahmari pranayama. You can sit, you can do any time. This Brahmari pranayama, the focus is more on vibration, making vibration felt on our whole face, the skull bone. So sit comfortably on a support or anything, sit comfortably. So close your eyes. We do this with Shambhavi Mudra, but it is fine if you feel it. She's doing Shambhavi Mudra. So where this is, we call it as Shambhavi Mudra, where the sense organs are closed. This is Pratyahara technique, where the sense organs are inverted. The sense organs are always focused outward, giving us agitation to the mind. So this practice focuses our sense organ towards our internal environment, where the internal environment gives, focusing on our internal environment gives us a lot of help, because our mind always tend to go out. So it needs some practice, as you need to keep the elbow in line with your shoulder. So in the beginning, it's fine. If you are not doing the Shambhavi Mudra, you are keeping the arms on the lap, just closing the same. We are going to chant in syllable. So inhale, on exhale, make again inhale, on exhale chant. So once you chanted im, during the pass, in between the pass, you have to observe the vibration in the skull bone. You can feel very much vibration in your skull bone. Observe that vibration in your skull bone, from the throat to the entire head. You can feel good vibration happening. So observe that. So this can be done 6 times at a time, or you can do this as many number, if without the Shambhavi Mudra, resting the arms on the sides, you can do this. The mind has to focus on observing the sensation on your body, mainly the skull bone and the facial muscles. And when you are doing inhalation, you have to focus on the movement, the bodily movement that happens along with the breath. So this brings our mind inward, reducing our thoughts. If we, in the beginning, it's challenging, of course, but as we practice, it becomes very easy and comfortable. See, stress is inevitable for anyone. Without stress in occupation or wherever it is, stress is inevitable. It is not avoid. We can't avoid that totally. I can't say that I don't want stress. Stress is good also. It helps me for my good performance. On a whole, it is not bad, but the way that we perceive is what makes the difference. If I feel more threatened due to the stress, I may feel more agitated. That kind of stress leading towards the chronic stress may bring us a lot of health issues. But the practice, the yogic practices help us to manage our stress. It is not that once you started doing yogic practices, all that you won't get into stress. It is not that. The stress will be there, but the way that you perceive the stress will change. The perception will change. At the same time, the body and mind becomes more calm down, because you know how to handle the stress. When you feel stressed, when you focus your mind on breath, on your body sensation, doing few practices, you are giving good see that as I mentioned, that we go for stimulants, or going for a tea when I feel stressed, pressured. I go for a tea, I go for coffee or a smoke or something, watching the mobile. All these are stimulants to my mind and the body. But the yogic practices are not stimulants, they are more relaxing. So at the same time, it brings us good feeling. The feeling good factor works in this. So the stress is managed well. With the yogic practices, the stress is managed well. We are able to manage, we become more aware that I am stressed, and we have the technique to handle the stress. That is how yoga helps us to manage the stress, as we can't avoid stress. To give a good performance here, I need to have some stress that makes me motivated to present well. So same like that, we need to cope with the stress and manage the stress. And the studies conducted on yogic practices in managing the stress, it has helped tremendously. So with that note, I thank very much you all for sharing your time with us to get into some few practices now. And thank you for the opportunity for IIMTY and our principal, Dr. R. Ilumbovan sir, Faculty of Yoga Sciences and Therapy, Meenakshi Academy of Higher Education and Research. Thank you so much for your time. Sir, if there is any time to share some any questions, if there is. Sir?
Yes, yes. Participants, do you have any question to ask? No questions to ask? Okay, then. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank our trainer, Subbalakshmi ma'am. Thank you for the great session, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you all participants for your valuable time. Dear participants, I have shared the link, feedback link. Kindly please update the feedback. Kindly please update your feedback. Thank you so much all. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for this wonderful session, and thank you all.
Thank you.